Ghana Central ba ko no nso agidin power Central dwuma mu yewra Paul Adom Ochere na wonim se na nsemu yada na yewra Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia edi na woda wonya 61 years baba yame enshirawo wonya 61 years na eno na Paul Adom akon Ochere se ende yame wonya na ade akoisan se number 8 na NDC fo nya ye no kire NDC fo bribi sa Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia afiwi na afi ampa na wokyere mu ekire se yewra Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia wonya 61 years na nse wodi na wodai na osan eda number 1 no wodi number 1 eka 61 ebeye 7 na on the 7th December nso na ebeto aba eno 67 na ni na okika bubom no wo ba benya number 1 na entrema wode atire busua ebeje wonsa na yenkonkotie bi emra eba ebeto so ede ama.
We celebrate the birthday of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Here's a calculation about his age, Election2024, and his position as number 1 on the ballot. The coincidental birthday estimation. With 61 days left until the elections, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia turns 61. That is 6 plus 1 is equal to 7, where 7 is the election day in December. Now, the NDC is number 8 on the ballot. 8 minus 7 is equal to number 1, which just happens to be Dr. Bawumia's position on the ballot. But beyond that, it is the record of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as a politician that creates the buzz about this new MPP leader. His tenacity and campaign style, which has always focused on issues, data, and policy initiatives. Here is Mahamudu Bawumia campaigning in the 2012 election.
Was what allowed us as the MPP under President Kufuor to introduce the National Health Insurance against the protests of the NDC. We didn't stop there. We added the National Youth Employment Program. We added the school feeding program, the capitation grant program, the Metro Mass Transit program, the free maternal care program, the Maslock program, the LEAP program, and all of these programs from a HIPIC low-income economy. And this is why we are very confident that with the oil resources, we can certainly deliver the free senior secondary school education that Nana Akufo-Addo has promised.
The 2012 campaign was massive on free SHS. It was the same election that Mahamudu Bawumia and Akufo-Addo lost to John Dramani Mahama. Yes, they lost the election, but they won the campaign and they kept their promise alive. Here is Nana Akufo-Addo also in 2012 focusing on education and free SHS.
I don't think it's a secret that I have made education the top priority in the future Akufo-Addo government, God willing. And I'm doing so for a very simple reason. The development of our human resources is the single most important matter that we have to address and resolve. If indeed we are going to transform our economy and generate prosperity for the mass of our people.
This particular 2012 campaign even produced a song on free SHS. Ultimately though, it was Mahamudu Bawumia's narrative that stood out clearly.
Was what allowed us as the MPP under President Kufuor to introduce the National Health Insurance against the protests of the NDC. We didn't stop there. We added the National Youth Employment Program. We added the school feeding program, the capitation grant program, the Metro Mass Transit program, the free maternal care program, the Maslock program, the LEAP program, and all of these programs from a HIPIC low-income economy. And this is why we are very confident that with the oil resources, we can certainly deliver the free senior secondary school education that Nana Akufo-Addo has promised.
3 election cycles later, Dr. Bawumia has been vice president for almost 8 years, and on policy, he has so much to say, with so much confidence and so much credibility.
I believe that as vice president, the policies I have championed or initiated have impacted or will impact the lives of virtually every Ghanaian. I have, with the full blessings and support of my boss, promised and delivered on many groundbreaking policies that are happening for the first time in our history. These include championing the Ghana Card, Agenda 111, e-pharmacy, Ghana.gov, one constituency, one ambulance, Zongo Development Fund, paperless ports, motor insurance, database, renewal of NHIS on your mobile phone, Ghana card number as your TIN number, SNID number, NHIS number, zip line, delivery for drones, gold for oil, gold purchase program, and so on, and so on, and so on.
So, that is the modern politician, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. So obvious is Bawumia's formidability that on his birthday, critical civil society voice Franklin Cudjoe even had this to say about Bawumia. Happy birthday, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. You are gifted. You changed the way politics was run in Ghana. You moved us from spin and propaganda to trading fact-based policies during elections. That was Franklin Cudjoe. As we have all come to see, Dr. Bawumia is just great, and he has changed our politics, hasn't he?
Mr. Vice President, I covered the NPP presidential primaries in 1998. I covered election 2000. I covered the NDC contest for election 2004, the one between Mills and Kwesi Botwe. I covered election 2004, 2008, 12, 16, 20. I have never seen a presidential candidate, whether in opposition or in government, focusing his campaign to the people about policy initiatives and policies that have been achieved. I also covered the UK election in 2001 for Tony Blair, and I covered also the UK election in 2019. You will find in those places that they were always articulating policy, what can be done, what can be solved. You will find here in all of those historical elections that we were not doing that until Mahamudu Bawumia arrived on the scene. Mr. Vice President, whatever happens in December, you have changed the politics of Ghana and Africa for a long time to come. I have nothing more useful to add except that God bless you.
Thank you, Paul.
God bless you.
Happy birthday to the Vice President, the NPP candidate, the #1 on the ballot, and the first leader of Northern extraction for the new Patriotic Party.
And to any someone, Paul Adom Ochere, what they are to do, what I said, so 7 years, but 2 years. 6 + 1, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, our day, we cover more and in fish, we cover more when you're 7, no, not 7 years, but 2 abansono, na 7, what if 8 more, when you're #1, around to a sort of harness in Yangopon, when you're a bit the other equa, and until breaking the 8, no, a be possible. Ebusia, Obaso announce what you want to subscribe to a YouTube channel, no like graphic science, Shema from also, and what Ay3 and Benji. Meeting at the Ojuman Koba and Akofi from Ashanti. Good day, Macro.